Good morning. This is Norma Cowie once more with a Sunday thought. Today I'm going to touch on acceptance, which I may have done in previous times. I know I certainly have talked about it in my Wednesday Norma talks. Today I got up expecting a certain thing to happen, which basically was watching my favorite British soccer team play. I thought it was on yesterday morning, according to my notes. Got up a little earlier just to make sure I was on. No, I had the wrong day. It was on today at 8:30 a.m. So I get all ready to watch my game to find out that it has been delayed. In fact, at this moment of recording, it is still delayed because there was a protest going on in Manchester. Now, this reminded me a lot of life. What do we do when something unexpected over which we have no control, i.e. lockdowns, wearing masks, etc.? What do we do with that? How do we cope? How do we handle? But this was really personal to me because I have watched this British soccer team, which, by the way, is Liverpool. And it's a long story how I became a Liverpool fan, which I won't bore you with, but it happened many, many years ago when I was very restricted and had to watch a lot of TV and watch sports on a Saturday. Today, sports are not showing on our local, our local TV too much. Tennis, cycling, British football. A lot of that I have to get from other ways and other means, which costs more money. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's not what I'm getting at here. That's the fun of live streaming. You never know what's going to come next out of your thinking process in your mind. Anyway, there was a protest in Manchester City where Liverpool were going to play. And it's a very important game for Liverpool because they haven't been doing very well lately. So I'm all set up, ready, have my cup of tea, ready to sit down to watch, thinking I would do this talk in the halftime period because that works out quite well for me. And I've done it quite often on a Sunday morning like that. Well, it's been delayed because there was a protest in Manchester. So how do we cope and handle these things when they happen in life? Because they do happen in life. Unexpected. I have no control over this. I have nothing to do with this. The same thing as the mandates that have come down and all those other things. And so we accept them. But there's one step very often we forget. First, we need to accept, yes, this is what's happening. Then second, we get to make a decision how we want to handle that. How do we handle things, especially when they're very personal and they affect you personally? Let's say you're going to meet somebody and then all of a sudden they cancel and you've set your whole day around meeting somebody for lunch or for dinner or whatever. How do you handle that? What do you do with that disappointment? What do you do with the expectation of having a certain thing happen and then it's gone? It isn't happening that way. So yes, acceptance is really, really important. But then the decision of how you handle it is really more important because that sets up what happens next. Now, this morning, this game may be played today, it may be played tomorrow, it may be played who knows when. They're expecting it to play, but the players haven't even left the hotel yet. So there's probably a chance that it may not get played today with everybody all upset over what the protests were going on. But it was very interesting for me to watch when there's all this, and I know in the UK, stay at home, no crowds, masses of people coming in, a lot wearing masks, yeah, but they were more like a mask put around, not a real mask, well, not what we call a mandatory mask. Many people, all what it's as though the people don't understand that. But again, that's aside the point of what I'm trying to get over here. In life, you will have disappointment. In life, you will have things not go the way you want them to. In life, you will have last minute changes which upset your plans, how you've orchestrated your life. And sometimes those upsets are absolutely devastating. They just really take you right out. Now, that wasn't what's happened to me today. It's just a little, kind of a little inconvenience of my own little personal plans of what I had planned. But it made me remember and think of the times when I've had unexpected news that literally wiped me out. Things I didn't want to accept, things I didn't want to hear, things that I didn't want to quote unquote deal with. And yet, all we can do is accept that this is the reality right now. And accepting the reality right now, we are then free to make a decision on how we are going to handle it. Are we going to deny? Are we going to react? Are we going to explode at somebody else and give them a situation to deal with? But how are we going to do that? And that is a lot to do with our personal growth and our personal understanding that everything in life adds to you. It's a philosophy I've had for a long, long time. Everything adds, even when I don't like it, even when I don't want that situation to be happening or taking place. It's like, okay, everything adds. I don't know what it's adding right now because it doesn't feel good. So what am I going to do about this? I always bring it back into self. What am I going to do about this? What is my decision going to be? So when you have a disappointment, when you have a change of plans, how do you handle that? Because it'll hit you emotionally, one way or another, even if it's a little ripple or a big explosion. And then you get to decide what you want to do. And that is self-mastery. That is self-mastery to know that, okay, you can accept, and then you can decide an effective response for you. I know that we all have right now situations we have to deal with, and how are we deciding to handle those responses that we have to handle and deal with? Restrictions here, restrictions there, and some of us get a little freedom and then another restriction. So how we choose to handle that, what we choose to do with that, feelings of frustration and restriction, and primarily what I hear is the feeling of isolation. We are not an isolated human beings. We are community beings. So I just want you to think about that and see if you can come to any conclusions for yourself. Oh, I always overreact. Oh, yes, I am able to go inside and process and make a clear decision as to the direction that I want to do or how I want to be. I wish you really well on this Sunday and this coming week. We're now just into May. And on my Wednesday talks, I'll be doing my usual early of the month reading to take a look on the first Wednesdays. I usually do a little reading to see what the energy is going to be like in the coming month. And I'm looking forward to that. So in the meantime, I wish you well today. You have a great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for thank you for sharing the likes, etc. I certainly appreciate it. And I want you to have a great and a wonderful day and week. Thank you.